Have you ever felt like your English is, almost there, but you just need that little extra push to sound, well, truly natural?
Yeah, or maybe you're just tired of learning all these words,
Right.
but then you don't really know how to actually use them in a real conversation.
Exactly. If that sounds familiar, then you've definitely come to the right place today.
Hmm.
We are going to dive deep into something really, really powerful, a practice that can honestly dramatically improve your fluency, your pronunciation.
And your confidence, which is huge.
Yeah, absolutely, your confidence in English.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Right. And our mission today, it isn't just to tell you about this method. We want to give you a genuine shortcut.
A shortcut, okay.
Yeah, a shortcut to understanding it and actually applying it. We're going, beyond just the basics.
So you're not just listening passively.
Exactly. We want you to really grasp how to actively use this knowledge. The goal by the end of this deep dive is for you to feel more confident, definitely more fluent.
And just more in control of your English, right? Ready to use it, spontaneously.
That's the idea.
Okay, so we're talking about shadowing. It sounds a bit, I don't know, mysterious, maybe. What is it exactly? And why do people say it's such a game changer for learning English?
Well, shadowing is, it's a method where you listen to natural English. Could be anything, really, a podcast like this one.
Or a video, a movie clip.
Right. And you repeat what you hear immediately, almost at the same time, just like an echo, basically.
Like an echo. Okay.
But it's not just mimicking words. It's really active, immediate repetition. It engages, your whole speaking system.
So not just your brain, but your mouth, too.
Absolutely. You're trying to match everything, the words, of course, but also the rhythm, the intonation, even the speed of the original speaker.
And you mentioned it trains your brain to think in English. That sounds powerful. How does that actually work? Because we often just think about learning words and grammar rules.
Yeah, and this goes way beyond that. It really helps you build those neural pathways for English directly.
Neural pathways.
Okay. Think of it like this. Usually when you hear English, your brain might kind of translate it into your native language first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you think of a response in your language, then translate it back into English. It's a multi-step process.
Takes time. Can feel clunky.
Exactly. Shadowing helps you sort of bypass that internal translation step. It pushes you towards a more direct English-to-English connection in your head.
Ah, okay. So it's like building a direct road instead of taking detours.
Precisely. It links the sound you hear directly to the words you produce spontaneously. So English starts feeling less like a mental puzzle you have to solve.
And more like something natural you just do.
Right. You're essentially teaching your brain to process and produce English in real time much faster.
Fascinating. And you also mentioned the physical act of speaking, the speaking apparatus. What does that involve, and how does shadowing help there? Because speaking smoothly is a big hurdle for a lot of learners.
It really is. And that speaking apparatus, that's your tongue, your lips, your jaw, even how you breathe from your diaphragm, all those bits work together to make sounds.
It's complex when you think about it.
Totally. And language isn't just in your head. It's about physically training these specific muscles. Think about a pianist practicing scales or an athlete drilling movements.
Muscle memory.
Exactly. It's muscle memory for your mouth. Shadowing helps your mouth get used to the specific movements needed for English sounds that might not even exist in your native language.
Like the sound, maybe.
Perfect example. Or how T's and D's can sound different, or how words link together smoothly. Shadowing teaches you to pick up that rhythm, the natural tone, the flow of real conversations. It literally gets your mouth used to speaking English smoothly.
So it's kind of brilliant because you're improving your speaking and you're listening at the same time.
Bingo. You're not just practicing making sounds, you're intensely listening. You're tuning into the nuances, the intonation, where the stress falls, those little contractions.
Like gonna or wanna.
Right, and how words kind of flow together, and then you immediately try to copy it.
That simultaneous improvement makes it super efficient, doesn't it? Especially if you don't have hours and hours to study every day.
Absolutely, you're getting double the benefit for your time. It really maximizes your learning.
Makes sense.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how it bridges that gap between just passively listening, understanding what's said.
And actually being able to produce it naturally yourself.
Exactly. Active, natural production. Many learners focus so much on vocabulary lists, grammar rules.
Which are important, obviously.
Of course. But the real breakthrough with shadowing comes when you realize fluency isn't just about what words you know, but how you string them together effortlessly.
The flow.
The flow.
Yeah.
It makes you think critically about how native speakers actually sound, not just the words they choose. Your brain usually filters out sounds it thinks aren't important, right? But shadowing forces your brain, forces your ears to pay attention to everything. Those subtle sounds, the way words blend, it's like you're retuning your auditory radar specifically for English.
So you start hearing things you missed before.
Precisely, almost subconsciously. And that transforms you from just being a listener into an active participant in the language, even if you're just shadowing by yourself in your room.
All right, that makes a ton of sense. So we understand the why. Let's get into the how. The practical side, you mentioned starting simple.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about starting with really simple sentences, things about daily life, expressions you can genuinely use every single day.
Okay, now just to be clear for everyone listening, we're not going to read out every single sentence for you to repeat right now like a language tape.
No, this isn't just a practice audio track.
Right, we're guiding you through how you would approach this yourself, what to focus on when you are shadowing these kinds of texts or audios, and why they're so effective.
Exactly. Imagine you have a list of these sentences or you're listening to a recording. This initial approach, it's about building a solid foundation.
Training your ear, training your mouth.
Yep. Getting used to the basic sounds, the common structures, the intonation patterns, even if it feels a bit slow or mechanical at first.
Okay, so let's take a basic morning routine. If you were doing this at home, you'd use that listen, pause, repeat method you mentioned.
Correct. Listen to a short phrase or sentence, pause the audio, and repeat it out loud, trying to mimic the sound.
So things like, I wake up at 7 in the morning, pause, repeat.
I brush my teeth, pause, repeat.
I take a shower, pause, repeat. I get dressed for the day, pause, repeat.
I make a cup of tea, pause, repeat. I eat my breakfast, pause, repeat. I check my phone, pause, repeat.
And when you're repeating, you're really focusing on matching the pronunciation, maybe the stress on certain words, like I wake up at 7.
Exactly. Capturing that natural rhythm. Then you'd maybe move on to slightly longer actions in the routine.
Right? Like I leave the house, pause, repeat. I go to work by bus, pause, repeat.
I arrive at the office at 9 a.m. Pause, repeat. I start my work, pause, repeat.
I reply to emails, pause, repeat. I talk to my colleagues, pause, repeat. I attend a meeting, pause, repeat.
I take a short break, pause, repeat. I eat lunch at my desk, pause, repeat. I finish my work by 5:00, pause, repeat.
I leave the office, pause, repeat. I walk to the bus stop, pause, repeat. I go home, pause.
I relax on the sofa, pause, repeat. I wash the dishes, pause, repeat. I take a shower, pause, repeat.
I read a book, pause, repeat. I wash the dishes, pause, repeat. You're focusing on clarity at this stage.
Okay, so once you feel comfortable with that slower pace, what's next?
Then you go back to those same sentences, but you practice them with a bit more speed, more flow. This is where you really start noticing how native speakers connect words. The linking sound. Yeah.
Exactly. So I wake up at 7 might start to sound more like I wake up at 7, smoothly blended together.
Or I get dressed instead of enunciating every single word in I get dressed for the day.
Right. You're aiming for smoothness now, maybe even sacrificing a tiny bit of absolute clarity for that natural flow.
So you'd practice maybe shorter versions like I wake up at 7, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, I get dressed.
I make tea, I eat breakfast, I check my phone, I leave the house.
I take the bus to work, I reach the office at 9, I start working, I answer emails.
I talk with coworkers, I join a meeting, I take a break, I eat lunch.
I go back to work, I finish at 5, I leave the office, I take the bus home.
I relax, I watch a movie, I cook dinner, I eat with my family.
I wash dishes, I shower, I read a book, I sleep at 10.
The goal here is feeling that natural, quicker pace of everyday speech, even if you simplify slightly.
Got it. So start slow and clear, then build up speed and flow.
Exactly. Now, once you've got the hang of practicing a basic routine, it's really valuable to see how shadowing different kinds of daily routines helps you.
Because not everyone has the same day, obviously.
Right. Shadowing diverse contexts, different narratives, exposes you to a much wider range of vocabulary, phrasing, and conversational patterns. It helps you internalize common sentence structures more naturally.
Okay, so this is where we dive into those detailed daily lives you mentioned. They give us richer, more real-world scenarios to think about and practice with.
Precisely. These aren't just lists of actions, they're mini stories.
Great. So first up, You mentioned Maya, a college student. How does shadowing her day help?
Well, shadowing a narrative like Maya's helps you practice longer sentences, a lot of common daily vocabulary, and it reinforces those natural sentence patterns. You get a sense of a story unfolding.
Okay, so what's Maya's day like? Let's
Yeah.
imagine listening to an audio about her.
Right, so maybe the audio says, Maya lives in San Francisco. She wakes up at 6. She goes for a run in the park. Then she showers and makes oatmeal for breakfast. She catches the subway to get to university. She attends her classes, takes notes. She meets friends for lunch in the cafeteria. In the afternoon, she studies in the library. She returns home around 6 p.m., cooks pasta for dinner, watches a documentary, and then goes to bed pretty early.
Okay, I can see how shadowing that whole sequence helps. It's not just random sentences.
Exactly. It helps you internalize common sequencing words. Then, after that, in the afternoon and the transitions, it mimics how you'd actually recount your own day or tell a story. You're practicing the narrative flow.
Makes sense. Okay, who's next? David, the delivery driver.
Yes, David. Shadowing his day is great because it helps you memorize common sentence structures naturally. Plus, it introduces a ton of practical work-related vocabulary, especially useful if you're interested in language for service jobs or just describing physical actions.
What does his day involve? Sounds busy.
It is. So the audio might describe. David wakes up at 6:30. He turns off his alarm, stretches, maybe yawns. He takes a quick shower, puts on his uniform, eats some toast and coffee, checks his delivery schedule on his phone, grabs his keys, heads out to his van, starts the engine, drives to the warehouse, picks up packages, loads them into the van, checks his route on the GPS, puts on his seatbelt, turns on the radio, then he's off delivering packages all day.
Lots of verbs there.
Loads of them. Greets customers politely, maybe chats for a second, takes photos as proof of delivery, has lunch from a food truck around midday, keeps delivering until about 5 p.m., returns the van to the warehouse, signs out, drives his own car home, showers again, relaxes a bit, eats dinner with his parents, watches some TV, bedtime around 10:00.
Shadowing that gives you a real feel for describing a process step by step.
Absolutely, from start to finish. Very practical.
Okay, and then Leo, the high school student, how is his routine useful for shadowing?
Leo's day gives you that structured school day rhythm. It's fantastic for getting used to language around school subjects, friends, homework, family time. A different kind of structure than David's day.
Right. So what's Leo's routine? He's 16.
Yeah, 16. So imagine hearing. Leo wakes up at 7 a.m., showers, eats cereal, packs a school bag, leaves the house at 7:45, takes the school bus, arrives at school around 8:15, goes to his locker, grabs his books. First class is math, then science, then English. Eats lunch with his friends in the cafeteria, talking and laughing. Afternoon classes are history and gym. School ends at 3 p.m., takes the bus back home, changes clothes, has a snack, does his homework, maybe plays some video games, eats dinner with his family, studies for a test he has tomorrow, goes to bed at 10 p.m.
Again, lots of specific vocabulary there. Locker, cafeteria, subjects, test.
Exactly. And the clear progression through an academic day, shadowing this helps you sound natural when talking about your own schedule or school experiences.
Very useful. Now, what about Sarah, the work-from-home designer? This feels very relevant today.
Hugely relevant. Her routine offers specific vocabulary for remote work, managing your own schedule, online meetings, things many people experience now.
So how does Sarah's day look?
Okay, Sarah's a graphic designer, works from her apartment. She usually starts her workday around 8 a.m., makes coffee, opens her laptop, checks emails, replies to urgent ones, works on her current design projects. Around 11, she takes a short break to stretch or walk around, has a light lunch around noon. Afternoon might involve video meetings with clients or her team, works on a new presentation, often listens to soft music while she works, takes another short break around 3 p.m., tries to finish her main tasks by 5:00, closes her laptop, maybe tidies her desk.
Nice work-life boundary setting there.
Trying. In the evening, she might go for a walk, maybe chat with a neighbor she bumps into, makes dinner at home, watches a show, or reads a book. Bedtime around 10:00.
Shadowing that gives you language for modern work, self-management, balancing work, and personal time.
Definitely. Very practical vocabulary for today's world.
Okay, and you mentioned another student, Oliver. How is his day different from Maya's?
Similar structure, being a college student, but different activities. It gives you more variety, different academic subjects, different ways of phrasing things related to campus life.
So what does Oliver do?
Oliver wakes a bit earlier, maybe 6:45, goes for a 30-minute jog, showers, has eggs and toast for breakfast, leaves for college by 8:00. His first class is economics. He listens carefully, takes notes, Goes to the cafeteria for lunch, eats with some classmates, they talk about an upcoming exam. Afternoon classes are literature and then biology. After classes, he goes to the library to study and finish his homework. Goes home, rests for a bit, maybe plays his guitar, cooks pasta for dinner, studies for one more hour in the evening, sleeps around 11 p.m.
So again, lots of verbs and phrases for study, exercise, social interaction in that academic setting.
Exactly. Shadowing Oliver's day helps you internalize that academic rhythm, the vocabulary for different subjects, exams, studying.
Right. Now, you said Chloe from marketing's routine. It's really interesting because of the details.
Yeah, Chloe's routine is great because it's structured like a typical office job, but it includes those small, quick, human interactions that make speech sound so natural.
Those little moments, like chatting with a colleague.
Precisely. Those brief connections, they really make the workday more enjoyable, don't they? And shadowing them helps you capture that spontaneous back and forth rhythm.
Okay, paint us a picture of Chloe's day. She's 22, works in Manhattan.
Yep, recent grad, marketing agency, wakes up 7.15. First thing, checks messages on her phone in bed. Then kitchen, makes coffee, toast with peanut butter. Listens to the news while she eats. Showers, gets dressed, maybe jeans and a blazer today. Leaves the apartment around 8:30, walks to the subway. Her commute is about 25 minutes, and she uses that time to listen to English podcasts. Smart.
Good use of time.
Arrives at the office by 9:00, greets her coworkers morning, checks email first, then works on social media campaigns, answers client messages, maybe prepares some reports. Around 11:00, she grabs another coffee. She bumps into her colleague, Mark.
Here's the interaction.
Right. Mark told her about a funny video yesterday, so they chat about it for just a minute, have a quick laugh, then back to work. It's those tiny organic interactions that shadowing helps you master the rhythm, the quick exchange, the shared moment.
Love that. Okay, what about the rest of her day?
Lunch around 1 p.m., maybe a sandwich or salad, sometimes eats outside if the weather's nice. Afternoon often includes a team meeting discussing a new marketing plan. Then she might spend time writing content, editing photos, posting updates online. Finishes work around 5:30. On her way home, she sometimes stops at a bookstore she likes, takes the subway back, gets home, rests a bit, changes into comfy clothes, makes dinner pasta or maybe a stir-fry, eats while watching her favorite English TV show.
Getting more practice in.
Definitely. Around 9 p.m., she actually reviews new English vocabulary she learned, maybe writes down some new words or phrases. Before bed, listens to soft music or reads a book. Lights out around 10:30.
That's a really detailed picture. Lots of modern, everyday language, blending professional and social stuff.
And highlighting how those brief, natural interactions are key to sounding fluent.
Okay, one more routine. Javier, the freelance artist. His sounds quite different.
It is. Javier's routine is much less structured, which is valuable too. It provides vocabulary for creative fields, for people who work for themselves, and it shows a different pace of life.
So how does Javier's day typically go? Does he sleep in?
Often, yeah.
No.
Wakes around 8 a.m., usually no alarm unless he has an early meeting. Starts with strong black coffee, checks his calendar for client deadlines, spends the morning sketching ideas, maybe listening to jazz music while he works on his digital art, drawing, refining things.
Oh, nice.
Lunch around 1 p.m., often gets takeout or makes a simple sandwich. Might take a short walk after lunch just to clear his head. Then back to his studio. Could be sending updates to clients, maybe having some video calls. Late afternoon, he often stops the client work and spends time practicing new techniques, experimenting with colors, textures, trying new software maybe.
Dedicated practice.
Yep. Usually wraps up the art stuff by 6 p.m. Evenings are varied. Sometimes meets friends for dinner. They like trying new restaurants. Other nights, he might stay home, watch an art documentary, or read a graphic novel. Before bed, he often reviews his art portfolio, just looking over his work. Goes to sleep pretty late, maybe around midnight.
It's interesting how shadowing that kind of routine teaches you to talk about a more fluid, self-directed schedule.
Exactly. It gives you language for creative work, deadlines, artistic practice, and that less conventional work-life rhythm. Really valuable for broadening your conversational range.
Okay, so we've really explored shadowing these detailed routines and stories, not by us reading every word, but by understanding their structure, their vocabulary, their flow. Now, let's shift gears slightly and talk about interaction itself, conversations.
Right. Because shadowing dialogues, actual back and forth conversations, is crucial. It really helps you practice that interactive nature of English.
The give and take.
Exactly. And it helps you learn those common expressions, the natural questions, the appropriate responses you absolutely need in real life.
So where do we start with conversations? Basic Q&A.
Yes, simple questions and answers are the foundation. When you're shadowing Q&A, whether it's based on the routines we just discussed or specific dialogue scripts, the key isn't just repeating the words.
It's the rhythm again.
It's the rhythm, how quickly and naturally the answer follows the question. You're training yourself for that real-time engagement.
So, using David's routine, you might practice shadowing. What time do you wake up? Followed immediately by, I wake up at 6:30, focusing on speed and intonation.
Or, how do you get to work? I drive my van. Quick, natural.
Or for Leo. Who is Leo?
Yeah.
A student. How old is he? 16. Short, sharp exchanges.
Even Sarah. What does Sarah do? She's a graphic designer. Where does she work? From home. You're internalizing these common patterns so they become almost automatic.
Reducing that thinking time.
Precisely. Same idea applies to Q&A based on Oliver's, Chloe's, or Javier's routines. Shadowing those quick exchanges about their lives gets you comfortable with asking and answering basic informational questions fluently.
Makes sense. Okay, beyond Q&A from routines, what about those everyday practical situations? Like ordering coffee or shopping?
Ah, yes, service interactions. Shadowing these is incredibly useful. It builds your comfort level and your vocabulary for things you actually have to do in English. It makes those potentially stressful situations feel much more manageable.
Let's take ordering a coffee. If you were shadowing a dialogue, what would you focus on?
Politeness, clarity, efficiency. Imagine hearing, "Hello, I'd like to order a coffee." Barista, "Sure, what kind of coffee would you like?" Customer, "One cappuccino, please." Barista, "Hot or iced?" Customer, "Hot, please. No sugar, thank you." Barista, "Okay, your total is $4. You'd echo each line, focusing on the polite forms, "Please, thank you," and the intonation questions rising, statements falling.
Right. Or in a supermarket, asking for help.
Yeah. Shadowing something like, "Excuse me, where can I find the milk?" Staff, "Aisle 5 on the right." Customer, "Great, thank you." Staff, "You're welcome." You're practicing asking for directions clearly, understanding location phrases like aisle 5, and using those polite affirmatives. The speed is often quite quick in these exchanges.
Definitely. Okay, restaurants. Ordering food can be intimidating. Shadowing dialogues helps, but what about specific phrases?
Absolutely. Shadowing key restaurant phrases on their own is super valuable. Focus on getting the tone right. Practice saying things like, "Can I see the menu, please?" Or, "What do you recommend?"
Standard questions.
Right. Or stating your order, "I'd like the pasta." Or making a special request, "Can I have this without onions?" Or stating an allergy, "I'm allergic to nuts."
Really important ones.
Essential. And basic service requests, "Could I get a glass of water?" Commenting on the food is delicious. Getting the bill, "May I have the bill, please?" Payment questions, "Can I pay with a card?" And that little nicety, "Keep the change."
Shadowing just those individual phrases makes them ready to use when you need them.
Exactly. They become part of your active vocabulary, complete with the right intonation.
And then there's shadowing a fuller restaurant dialogue to get the whole interaction flow.
Right. This gives you the chance to practice the entire sequence. Imagine shadowing. Host, "Welcome, table for 2, please." Customer, "Yes, please." Host, "Right this way. Would you like to sit by the window?" Customer, "Oh, that would be lovely, thank you." Host, "Here's your menu. Can I get you something to drink while you decide?" Customer, "Just water for now, please." Waiter later, "Are you ready to order?" Customer 1, "Yes, I think so. I'll have the grilled chicken." Customer 2, "And I'll take the pasta special." Waiter, "Excellent choices. Anything else for now?" Customer 1, "No, that's all for now." Waiter, "Okay. Enjoy your meal." Customer 2, "Thank you."
Shadowing that whole exchange helps you practice the politeness markers, the turn-taking, the common questions and answers in sequence.
Precisely. Same idea applies to a shopping scene.
Right, like buying clothes.
Yeah. Imagine, shop assistant, "Hello, can I help you?" Customer, "Yes, please. I'm looking for a jacket." Assistant, "Okay. What kind of jacket are you looking for? Something casual." Customer, Something warm, maybe for winter." Assistant, "We have some nice ones over here. What about this one?" Customer, "Oh, I like that. Can I try it on?" Assistant, "Of course. The fitting rooms are just over there." Later. Customer, "It fits well. I think I'll take it." Assistant, "Great. Would you like to pay by card or cash?" Customer, "Card, please." Assistant, "Okay, you're all set. Here's your receipt." Customer, "Thank you."
Again, it's about understanding and being able to reproduce that whole flow, from browsing to buying.
And just like with restaurants, shadowing individual practical shopping sentences is really effective too.
What kind of phrases?
Things like, "Do you have this in another color?" Or asking about store hours. "What time do you open?" Or the price. "How much does this cost?" The classic, "Can I try this on?" Asking for location. "Where's the fitting room?" Return policy questions. Can I return this if it doesn't fit? And of course, the polite brush off. I'm just looking. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yes, the essential, just looking. Shadowing those makes them feel natural, not awkward when you need to say them.
Exactly. Trains your mouth and your confidence.
Even online ordering has its own dialogue flow, doesn't it?
It does. Often over the phone or through chat. Imagine shadowing. Agent. Hello, thank you for calling. How can I help you? Customer. Hello, I'd like to place an order. Agent. Sure. What would you like to order today? Customer. One blue t-shirt, please. Size medium. Agent. Okay, one blue medium t-shirt. Anything else? Customer. Yes, a pair of black sneakers, size 9. Agent. Got it. Black sneakers, size 9. Can I get the delivery address? Customer. Yes, it's 15 Green Lane. Agent. Okay, 15 Green Lane. Your order should arrive in 3 to 5 business days. Customer. Great. Thank you very much. Agent. You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Helps you practice giving specific details, clearly, sizes, colors, addresses, and understanding delivery terms.
All these service interactions, when shadowed, make you much more comfortable and fluent in those everyday practical situations. They build a really strong foundation.
Okay, so moving beyond practical transactions, what about social and personal interactions, casual chat, making friends?
Ah, yes. Shadowing these kinds of conversations is key for naturalness. It trains your ears to understand how English sounds when it's relaxed, informal.
Less transactional?
Exactly. And it trains your mouth to speak it smoothly in those contexts, too, picking up the nuances of casual speech.
Even in slightly more serious settings, like a hospital, there's still a specific tone, right?
Definitely. Consider shadowing this. Nurse. Hello, I'm your nurse today. How are you feeling this morning? Patient. I feel a bit tired. Nurse. Okay. Did you sleep well last night? Patient. Not really. I had some pain. Nurse. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Where's the pain? Patient. It's mostly in my lower back. Nurse. Okay, I'll let the doctor know when they do their rounds. Can I get you anything now? Some water? Patient. Oh, yes, please. Thank you. Nurse. Of course, I'll bring it right back. Notice the gentle, reassuring, yet professional tone. Shadowing helps capture that.
Right, and just general polite conversation starters.
Crucial for everyday encounters. Shadowing something like, Person 1, excuse me, sorry to bother you, but may I ask a quick question? Person 2, sure, go ahead. Person 1, do you know where the nearest ATM is? Person 2, oh yeah, just go around that corner, it's next to the pharmacy. Person 1, ah, brilliant, thank you so much. Person 2, you're welcome, have a nice day. It's about mastering that brief, respectful exchange.
And friendly introductions, absolutely essential.
You bet. Practice shadowing. Person A. Hi, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you. Person B. Hi, Adam. I'm Jessica. Nice to meet you too. Person A. Where are you from, Jessica? Person B. I'm from Australia. And you? Person A. I'm from Canada. Cool. What do you do? Are you studying here? Person B. Yeah, I'm a student. Shadowing helps you nail that initial info exchange smoothly without awkward pauses.
What about phone calls? Making arrangements?
Great example. Shadowing a complete phone call helps you practice the natural flow, the opening, stating the purpose, making plans, confirming, closing. Imagine shadowing. Phone rings. Person 1, hello. Person 2, hi. Is this Thomas? Person 1, yes, speaking. Who's this? Person 2, hi, Thomas. It's Clara. We met at the marketing meeting yesterday. Person 1, oh, yes. Hi, Clara. How are you? Person 2, I'm good, thank you. Listen, I was just wondering if you might be free for lunch tomorrow. Person 1, lunch tomorrow. Yeah, I think so. That sounds great. What time were you thinking? Person 2, maybe around 1 p.m. Person 1, 1 p.m. works perfectly for me. Where should we meet? Person 2, how about that cafe near the office? Person 1, perfect. Okay, see you there at 1 then. Person 2, great. See you tomorrow, Thomas. Person 1, see you, Clara. Bye.
Shadowing that whole thing gets you used to the typical structure and phrases of a scheduling call.
Exactly. The intonation for questions, suggestions, confirmations is key.
Asking for directions in person is another one.
Always useful. Shadowing. Tourist. Excuse me. Sorry, can you help me? Local. Sure. What do you need? Tourist. I'm trying to find the main post office. Local. Ah, okay. You need to go straight down the street and then turn left at the second traffic light. Tourist. Okay, straight, then second left. Is it far from here? Local? No, not really. Maybe about a 10-minute walk. Tourist. Oh, great. Thank you so much for your help. Local. You're welcome. No problem. It's about getting those clear instructions and confirmations down pat.
Okay, now you mentioned revisiting making plans, but expanding it to feel more real. This sounds important for getting past that basic Q&A stage.
Yes, this is where shadowing helps bridge the gap to more spontaneous, natural conversation, moving beyond just simple question-answer pairs.
How so? Let's take that mall plan again.
Right, so the basic exchange might be, hey, are you free this weekend? I think so. Why? Want to go to the mall? Sure, what time? Maybe around 3 p.m.? Sounds good. That's fine, but a bit basic.
A bit robotic, maybe?
Kinda. Now imagine shadowing an expanded version. Person A. Hey, are you free this weekend? Person B. Saturday. I think so. Sunday's busy. Why, what's up? Person A. I was thinking of heading to the mall. Want to come? Person B. The mall. Yeah, maybe, sure. What time are you thinking? Person A. I don't know, maybe around 3 p.m. Person B. 3 p.m. Saturday works. Are you, like, hoping to buy anything specific? Or just
No.
browse?
See? A follow-up question makes it more interactive.
Exactly. Person A. Oh, just browse mostly. I mean, I really just need to get out of the house, you know? Person B. Huh. I hear ya. It's been a long week, hasn't it? Hey, what about grabbing some food while we're there? There's that new Italian place that opened up. I've been wanting to try it. Looks really good.
Adding suggestions, opinions.
Right, making it a real conversation. Person A. Ooh, Italian. Yeah, that sounds delicious. I'm definitely in for that. Cool. So should we, like, take the bus or drive? Person B. Ugh, let's take the bus. It's way easier than finding parking down there, right? Person A. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Downtown parking is just a nightmare on weekends.
See how those added lines, the elaborations, the little agreements and complaints make it feel much more real.
Totally. And shadowing this type of expanded dialogue is vital. It mimics the natural ebb and flow of real talk, where people add details, ask related questions, share opinions, agree, disagree.
It raises that question you mentioned. How does this train you for spontaneity?
It's by getting you comfortable with those unexpected turns. The filler phrases, like the ways people express preferences, I'm definitely in for that. Or frustrations, ooh, nightmare. You're learning to sort of dance in the conversation, not just follow rigid steps.
Love that analogy. Okay, let's try another common casual topic. Hobbies. This introduces more relaxed language, right?
Definitely. Great for practicing how to talk about personal interests, something you do all the time in social situations. Imagine shadowing this. Person one. So, what do you like to do in your free time? Person two. Well, I really enjoy photography. I mean, I mostly like taking pictures of nature, landscapes, and stuff. Person one. That's interesting. Do you have, like, the favorite place you go to take photos? Person two. Yeah, definitely. There's a local park near my place. I often go there, especially early in the morning when the light is really nice. It's just so peaceful, you know?
Nice. How would the conversation continue?
Person one. Yeah, that sounds lovely. Do you ever take portraits? Like pictures of people? Person two. Not usually, no. I kind of just stick to landscapes and wildlife for now. Maybe someday. What about you? Do you have any hobbies? Person one. Me. Oh, I love reading. Seriously, I can just get lost in a good book for hours. Person two. Oh, cool. What kind of books do you usually read? Person one. Mostly fantasy novels, I guess. But sometimes I read historical fiction too, just to mix it up a bit. Person two. Nice. That's cool.
Shadowing that helps you internalize asking those follow-up questions naturally.
Expressing interest. Oh, that's interesting. That sounds lovely. That's cool. Introducing your own information smoothly. It's less about memorizing specific lines and more about adopting that conversational rhythm and interaction style.
This is all fantastic for the words and the flow. But what about emotion? In real life, we don't talk like robots.
It's not at all. We show feelings constantly through our voice. Excitement, tiredness, hackiness, surprise, frustration, boredom.
And shadowing could help with that too.
Absolutely. It helps you learn how to sound more natural by copying not just the words and rhythm, but the emotion behind them. This adds a whole new dimension to your pronunciation and your ability to connect.
Okay, can you give us an example? A short dialogue where emotion is key.
Sure. Listen to the feeling behind these lines. Imagine shadowing this, really trying to capture the tone. Person A, sounding friendly, maybe a bit tired. Hey, how's it going? Person B, neutral, maybe a little flat. Pretty good, you. Person A, sighs slightly, slower pace. Not bad, just tired, long day. Person B, resigned agreement. Yeah, tell me about it, lots of meetings. Person A, slightly more upbeat, hopeful. Same here. Hey, want to grab a quick coffee later, maybe escape for 20 minutes? Person B, genuine enthusiasm. Oh yeah, sure, I'd love that, good idea.
Wow, yeah. The exact same words could sound totally different depending on the emotion.
Precisely. And mastering that emotional tone through shadowing is crucial for sounding natural. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. It helps you connect with people on an emotional level and also helps you understand their emotions better too. You start picking up on subtle cues.
That's a really important layer. Okay, so emotion is key. What about storytelling? You mentioned mini stories are good for shadowing.
Yes, the power of narrative. Shadowing stories, even short ones, is fantastic because, as we touched on with the routines, it helps you practice longer sentences and vocabulary within a continuous, meaningful context.
Not just isolated phrases.
Right. And it helps you remember natural sentence patterns, how ideas flow together logically, how transitions work. Think back to Maya, David, Leo, Sarah, Oliver, Chloe, Javier. Those were all mini narratives.
Right, full stories of their days. Let's take another example, maybe Zara, who works in a bakery.
Perfect. Zara's day is another great example of a cohesive narrative you could shadow. Imagine the audio telling her story. Zara wakes up really early, 4 a.m., washes her face, gets dressed quickly, walks to the bakery. It's just a few blocks away. She unlocks the door, opens the shop, turns on the lights, puts on her apron, starts mixing flour, sugar, eggs, beginning the day's baking. Soon she's baking fresh bread and cookies. The delicious smell starts to fill the shop. She gets the coffee machine ready for the early customers.
I can almost smell it.
Right. The first customer comes in around 6 a.m. She smiles, greets him warmly, serves him a fresh croissant and a hot coffee. More customers start arriving. She takes their orders, makes change, chats with the regulars she knows. She really enjoys talking to people. Around 11 a.m., things slow down a bit, so she takes a short break, eats a sandwich in the back room. Then she's back out front, restocking the shelves with pastries, cleaning the counters. At 3 p.m., it's closing time. She locks the door, counts the cash from the register, walks home. She's tired, so she takes a short nap. In the evening, she cooks dinner, maybe watches a movie with her sister.
Shadowing a story like Zara's really helps you practice vocabulary related to work, food, customer service, daily routines.
All within a natural, flowing context. It helps you understand how to structure a simple narrative, preparing you not just to repeat sentences, but to eventually tell your own stories in English, recounting your day or experiences more fluently.
Okay, we have covered so much ground today, really diving deep into shadowing. Let's take a moment just to pull it all together. Why is this method so powerful? Why do we call it a fluency shortcut?
Well, first off, as we said, it inherently practices your listening and your speaking simultaneously. You're constantly tuning your ear to the nuances of English.
While actively training your mouth to produce those sounds smoothly, it's just incredibly efficient.
Exactly. Super efficient use of your time. Second, it specifically trains your ears to catch sounds and rhythms you might have completely missed before. It genuinely improves your auditory perception.
So you start understanding spoken English better, even fast speech.
Yes, you become much better at discerning those subtle distinctions, the linking sounds, the weak forms, the intonation patterns that native speakers use naturally.
Okay, what else?
It directly improves your pronunciation, obviously, because you're mimicking native models, but also, importantly, your memory for phrases and chunks of language, not just single words.
So you start thinking in phrases, like native speakers do.
That's the goal. You internalize common collocations and sentence structures. And maybe the biggest benefit for many people, it significantly boosts your confidence.
How does it do that?
Because you've practiced. You've internalized the rhythm, the flow. Speaking starts to feel less like a scary performance where you're constantly searching for words.
And more like just talking, natural conversation.
Exactly. That familiarity breeds confidence. You trust your mouth and ears more.
Plus, it's super flexible, right?
Uh-huh.
You don't need a classroom or a teacher right there.
Totally flexible. You can literally do it anytime, anywhere. Shadow a podcast while you're walking, repeat sentences while you're doing the dishes, practice dialogues in your room, even listen and mentally shadow before you go to sleep.
It fits into life easily.
It does. And it's like music. English has a rhythm, a melody.
I like that analogy.
When you shadow regularly, when you speak it consistently, focusing on that rhythm, it starts to become a part of you. It feels less foreign.
It moves from being something you consciously construct to something that just flows.
That's it, precisely. It becomes more innate, more effortless over time.
So as some actionable advice for people listening, beyond finding good audio sources to shadow, what else can they do daily?
A simple but powerful thing is to try narrating your own day out loud in English, using those simple structures we started with.
Like talking to yourself?
Kind of, but purposefully, as you do things, just say them. I wake up, I am brushing my teeth, I am going outside now, I'm drinking some tea, I am talking with a friend on the phone, I'm listening to music.
Even just simple actions?
Especially simple actions. Narrate your routine as you do it. This habit, combined with shadowing external audio, gets you so much more comfortable just producing English constantly. It makes it feel normal.
And that builds confidence incredibly quickly. Trust me on this one. If you make it a habit, it really compounds. You'll be surprised.
Absolutely. Consistency is key. #tag outro.
Wow. Okay, if you've stuck with us through this whole deep dive, give yourself a massive pat on the back.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, well done.
You just completed a full exploration of shadowing. You didn't just passively listen. You've actively engaged with the ideas. You've thought about the why behind shadowing daily routines, real conversations, adding emotion, telling stories.
You've understood the mechanics and the mindset.
Exactly. You've truly taken a huge step towards mastering not just English words, but the real sound, the rhythm, the essence of spoken English.
And remember, the absolute key to fluency, it isn't really about speed, it's consistency. That's the magic ingredient.
Keep showing up.
Just keep showing up. The more you shadow consistently, the easier and more natural speaking will feel. Start small if you need to, short sentences, then build up to longer ones, to dialogues, to stories.
Copy the rhythm, the music of the language.
Yes. Listen for it, copy it, and speak with emotion. Try to capture the feeling. And please, don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone makes them. It's just part of learning.
Don't let mistakes stop you.
Never. If you get stuck on a word or phrase while shadowing, just keep going. Jump back in. Persistence is everything. That's truly how fluency is built, through that consistent practice, that dedicated repetition, and really engaging with real living language day after day.
It's about building that habit.
Building the habit, letting it compound until speaking English feels like a natural extension of who you are.
So keep practicing. Keep speaking, even if it's just to yourself at first. And most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
You can do this?
Your confidence will grow step by step. You really are improving every single day you practice. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today.